and joyful. Well, we're going to take you to our news portals. We have citynewsroom.com. We also have ChannelOneNews.com. We have a lot of news there, even though the printed press is still on break. They will all typically be returning around the 6th. Okay, so we look forward to seeing them from the 6th of January onwards. But we'll take you to a few portals and bring you what we have here. Let's start with our very own, and then we can go further afield. Okay,
right.
So I don't know if you want to start with any of them.
I'm
good to go if you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's go. Let's start with citynewsroom.com. We have Dome-Kwabenya rerun. We can't guarantee safety of electoral officers. This is coming from the NDC. Now the story here, there's details in here, so we can get into read that. But I just wanted to make a quick comment that safety of electoral officers is in the hand of the election security task force, not the NDC. You know, so right. I don't think they should worry themselves about that. It's the task force that matters. They should do their work. Election 2024, prosecute looters, vandals. This is coming from Stephen Yenesom Wengam to law enforcers. Of course, you know he's the former chairman of the prisons board, also the currently the president of Assemblies of God, Ghana,
right.
and the Vice President of Assemblies of God, Africa. You know, so speaking to this issue here. 10 police officers sue to block transfers by IGP. We also have ADB justify $750,000 contract renewal. And groom dies, unfortunate story there. Groom dies at wedding ceremony in Achim and Masse. Very unfortunate there. I read that story yesterday. Yeah. He walks into the event center where his ceremony is going to take place. He complains of dizziness, you know, and he's rushed. He collapses and he's rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead on arrival. Very, very sad, unfortunate story there. Akufo-Addo was not rushed to Nyaho Medical Center, #City Verify. I think there was some stories making the rounds on social media yesterday, a video suggesting that the president had been rushed, but it's an old video, and this was nothing to do with the president today. Police gunned down in Winchi. Police gunned down suspected armed robber, and let me give you one more. Achim Esum Krontihene. We pray we don't get another Akufo-Addo as president. The same Krontihene is saying also Mahama has come to rescue Ghana from the looters. He's been on a bit of a tirade, you know, yeah. So anyway, that's citynewsroom.com. Right,
quickly, let me take us to ChannelOneNews.com. And this morning, some headlines on ChannelOneNewsroom.com. Dome-Kwabenya rerun. NPP will accept election outcome. That's coming from the constituency secretary. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter dies at 100. Police groom dies at wedding ceremony in Achim and Namase. Akufo-Addo leaving is good. Chiefs won't be commanded, and that's said by the Achim Esum Krontihene. And also, Ghana has been stripped naked and is bleeding. Achim Esum Krontihene again says that swearing in MPs elect from EC's recoalition would have been illegal, and that's from Alban Sumano Bagwin. We've entertained unnecessary confrontations from NDC for Ghana's good, and that's by the NPP. We won't agree to EC's directive for a rerun in Dome-Kwabenya. The NDC has that. EC to rerun election in outstanding polling stations at Dome-Kwabenya. EC begins recollation of Dome-Kwabenya parliamentary results, and Kofom residents attack fire service personnel as fire destroys Trinity Church. This issue, anyway. Government's transition team holds third meeting, receives satisfactory reports, and also WAEC to release 2024 WASI results by end of December. Tomorrow ends December, by the way, so we are keenly looking forward to that. I personally am, because my sister is still awaiting her results.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And it was supposed to have come yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the 29th.
Yes.
So Okay. But was the minister not advising the PRO that he shouldn't talk about what he doesn't know?
Well.
Okay, all right, anyway. Let's go to MyJoyOnline. We have Akufo-Addo to decorate national honors and awards recipients today. We also have MPs-elect with quashed results ineligible for swearing in. This is coming from the speaker. We have former U.S. President Jimmy Carter dies aged 100. We have Keta news. Unidentified men demolish MCE's private building on reclaimed land. And this one says, thank God for Mahama. Kronti hails incoming leadership, criticizes Akufo-Addo's wastefulness. And we have Chan 2025. Ghana misses out after defeat to Nigeria. Let's give you a couple more. MPP versus NDC. Akufo-Addo government claims better performance on key macroeconomic indicators. And never again, Chiefs won't stand up for another Akufo-Addo. Kronti Achim assume. Now, this story is actually referring to the fact that there were a number of incidents we saw when the president would arrive at a Durbar or some events with chiefs present, and there'll be an insistence that they should stand up, you know, in honor of the president or the president's arrival. Herbert Mensah to be honored at National Honors and Awards ceremony. All right, and that's what we have for MyJoyOnline.
I'm taking us to graphiconline.com.
Sure.
Mahama meets Kenyan President Ruto and pledges to dependency. Groom dies at wedding ceremony in Achim Anamase. Angloga, 60-year-old chop bar operator killed in suspected robbery incident. Thieves electrocuted while attempting to steal street lights. The Winchi police gunned down armed robber in a shootout. Okada man on bail over alleged attempted robbery. And Ghana Black Galaxites failed to qualify for CHAN following loss to Nigeria. So Queen Mother empowers vigilante group Salifu 11 to deal with troublemakers following death of chief, and also EU law mandating universal charges for devices come into force. 3 killed in bus accidents near Agri Memorial School in Cape Coast. President Akufo-Addo commissions Accra STEM Academy. There are more stories on graphiconline.com if you want to take a read. But quickly, I want to go into a couple of stories on our portal, ChannelOneNews.com. I would like to start off with the, what's the name? The fire service story. Okay. Where the Krofrom residents attacked the fire service personnel. Reason being that we had a conversation about this just last week. Yes, when Alex Kinata was here talking about it. So the story says residents of Krofrom, a suburb of Kumasi, have allegedly attacked a fire tender amidst the blaze that destroyed Trinity Television and an adjoining church. The aggressive crowd forced firefighters to flee. While the fire caused damage worth millions of cedis, police intervention was necessary to call in another fire tender to handle the situation. The fire, which began around 9 a.m. on Friday, reduced an 18-year-old church building to rubble, destroying a television studio and related facilities. Staff and pastors at Trinity Television and the church had just finished a morning broadcast when the fire, originating from a nearby kiosk, spread to their building. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. Apostle Collins Boydi, the television station owner, recounted the incident, and there's a quote, a statement from him. It says, at about 9:10 a.m., we noticed the container behind us was burning. Many properties have been destroyed. We were preparing to launch a new studio on December 31st. Despite the efforts to salvage remaining items, it took nearly 2 hours to extinguish the fire. The initial fire tender was attacked by frustrated residents angry over the response time. people started throwing stones at them, so they had to leave for their safety. The police then stepped in. This isn't the first time this has happened. Authorities need to caution people against this behavior, said Solomon, an eyewitness. The Ghana National Fire Service in the Ashanti region expressed dissatisfaction with the repeated attacks on their personnel. Investigations are ongoing to determine the fire's cause. Kweku, so that's what we have on ChannelOneNews.com with regards to the attack on fire service personnel.
All right.
Really, we really need to be educated enough about this. Because last week when...
when you say educated, what are you thinking about? What's in what sense? Educated
so
in what sense?
Last week, until Alex Kenati came here, I mean, some of us were not aware of some of the challenges they go through, especially with fire tenders not being in proximity. So in this case, maybe they were coming from very far places or they were coming from the closest fire tender.
Yeah.
So it would take them a lot of time. And he also mentioned here on the show that because of the size of their track, they find it difficult to navigate through traffic. So it really takes them a while to be able to maneuver their way through to get to the location of the fire. So people really need to take their time and then allow them to do their work.
Yeah, so there's that, but then there's also the senseless attack on fire servicemen and the tender. What's the logic? When you beat them, then your fire goes out, or what? It's like we would rather cut off our noses because there's an itch. So we are cutting off our nose, even though it will make our face look ugly. Do you understand? How ridiculous can we be, right? You attack the fire service, the fire tender, and the firemen, then your fire goes out. Is it not the police who have to come in to calm things down and control things so that another tender will come from somewhere else? How illogical can we be? No, seriously.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like it makes no sense. You, the person that is taking your hand to hit a fire officer, what is going on in your head? What's the logic? What's provoking? It's like an irrational madness that's taking place in our mind, right? I don't get it, you know, and it doesn't solve anything. So it's true that we need to educate people so that they know that, look, first of all, in your area there's no fire tender.
Yes.
There's no fire station. The nearest station to you is about 20 minutes away without traffic. Then now there's traffic. And their tender cannot drive through and be bashing people's cars. So they have to maneuver and come the best way they can possible. So there's that. Then there's you, who wants to attack people I don't understand. As though attacking them
will solve the problem.
You may be frustrated, all right. Granted, and you are allowed to be frustrated. But it's an irrational behavior that you beat somebody who's coming to help you as if by beating them, the help would be accomplished. You're rather delaying the process of the help coming to you. So, I mean, I really don't understand it. I mean, I think that the police should investigate this matter, arrest all the people involved. Yeah, seriously. Send a strong message that it will not be tolerated. It will not be tolerated, and it must not be tolerated. We have to build a society of civilized human beings who can think rationally, and even when you are feeling frustrated and feeling pushed to the edge of irrationality, there must be some level of control.
Right.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, so there's this story here, Dome-Kwabenya rerun. You know, the whole election recollation issue and everything else. There's one particular polling station that appears to be the real bone of contention here. And so the EC has proposed a rerun. And the story here says, Dome-Kwabenya rerun, we can't guarantee the safety of electoral officers. NDC is there being quoted. The Greater Accra regional organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Anthony Nukpenu, has raised serious concerns about the safety of electoral officers in the upcoming rerun of the outstanding polling station in Dome-Kwabenya. This follows the Electoral Commission's directive to rerun elections at the Abokobi Women's Development Center in the Dome-Kwabenya constituency, which the NDC has rejected. For us, we have not taken any decision, but if they should go ahead, I can't guarantee their safety. I can't guarantee the safety of the electoral officers that will be deployed to conduct that single polling station, because the community has indicated clearly to your reporter that should they dare, they have voted. They voted on the 7th. They voted overwhelmingly for Electoral Akurugu. That result stands. Should any official dare come with a ballot box, ballot papers to determine another verdict, they are not going to participate, but they can't guarantee the safety of those who will come and conduct the exercise. Nukmenu stated in an interview on ChannelOne newsroom. This was on Sunday, 29th of December. He further emphasized that the community is resolute in their stance and warned against any attempt to use police or military force to intimidate the people of Abokobi. Nobody should think they are going to use the police or military to intimidate the people of Abokobi. They will rise to the occasion, and what the people want to see, they will see it, he added. I think, first of all, if the contention really is about one polling station, right, from all that we know in terms of demographics, in terms of voting patterns, that area is an NDC area, right? So really, I mean, I think that if the people came out to vote initially and we're going to do a rerun of the polling station, galvanize yourselves together and come out in full force. Let everybody come and vote. As simple as that, right? I don't see what the angst is here. I don't see what the challenge is here. It's one polling station. And if that's what will settle everything for Dome-Kwabenya, let's do it and let it settle it, right? Because if you had what it was that you needed to make sure that the vote, the entire constituency goes either left or right, you would have done. It would have been done, you know. But it's not. It's not there. So run that poll, only that polling station again, right? And besides, his concerns for me are unfounded, unless he's making a threat. His concerns are unfounded in the sense that the National Security, the Electoral Election Security Task Force is responsible for security of elections, really, you know, and not the NDC. And so if he can't guarantee, it's not a problem. The police will guarantee, the task force will guarantee it, right? But he should also not be making threats, because it sounds as though there are veiled threats in there. You know, the constituency is resolute, the community is resolute. What does that even mean? You know, you should be talking to the people and telling them that, hey, listen, you guys came out to vote your numbers, come out again, show, you know, your numbers, and, you know, stake your claim. Besides, that polling station, the number of people in that polling station is not going to change. It's the same voters who are going to come out and vote again. You know, and if there are any people there who didn't vote, they'll get a chance to vote. That's what it is. Whatever the numbers are, if it's 600 people that are there, 120 people that are there, whatever the number is at that polling station, it's not going to change. So let's insist on the right things being done, and let's all act above board. Seriously, a regional organizer should not be speaking the way he spoke. I don't think so anyway. Cool.
On the other hand, the NPP are saying that they would accept the election outcome in Dome-Kwabenya. That's with regards to the rerun. So let me just read that story as we have it on ChannelOneNews.com. NPP will accept election outcome, this by the constituency secretary. The New Patriotic Party constituency secretary for Dome-Kwabenya, Theophilus Ansalabi, has affirmed the party's commitment to accepting the outcome of the upcoming election rerun. in the constituency. This follows the Electoral Commission's directive to rerun the election at the Abokobi Women's Development Center 2 polling station in the Dome-Kwabenya constituency. The decision was made after the conclusion of the coalition for 367 polling stations, where discrepancies in 3 outstanding results necessitated further action. Speaking in an interview on ChannelOne Newsroom on Sunday, December 29th, Labi emphasized the MPP's dedication to peaceful democratic processes and its respect for the Electoral Commission's authority. And he said, we have demonstrated how peaceful we are as a party and organization in this country. We are not going to say if it is what it is, because the EC, as we all know, is the sole organization or the body which is responsible for organizing and supervising elections in Ghana, Labi stated. He further highlighted the nature of elections, noting that there are no second or third positions, only winners and losers. When you are going into an election, there's no second position, there's no third position. You either win or lose. It shouldn't be a problem if we win. NDC should accept, and if we also lose, we will accept, he added. So, Kweku, that's what the NDC, the MPP constituency secretary has to say about the rerun. And I hope that we are all going to, the constituents of Dome-Kwabenya are going to come in their numbers, as you rightly said. Those who voted, those who didn't get the opportunity,
that polling station alone, they should show up.
Yes, they should show up and then vote for whoever they want to vote for. And let's have a peaceful rerun.
Anyway, well, so we'll see how that plays out. Sports is next.